Welcome back to Arley Farm and the Three Farmerteers. Now I've finished feeding my stock for the day, as you can see here, and things. So I've done all the jobs I need to do on my farm for the day. And yet it's only 7:43 in the morning. And the reason I haven't sped up time or script is I'm planning on doing a couple of contracts now. Contracts are a good way of making money. They're also a good kind of cheat in Farming Simulator, and I'm going to show you exactly why. So let's go and look at the contracts. Now, on this map, almost all the contracts are always going to be baling contracts, and the reason for that is pretty well every field on the farm on the map is a grass field. Now, I know that one of the ones had field 78 as a contract, so we're going to definitely pick up that one, field 78. If I can find that one there. So what equipment does that one come with? A couple of mowers, a wrapper, baler. Don't like these things picking up the bales, so we're going to accept this contract without the equipment, and then we're going to go and look for something with better equipment as well. So this is one of the cheats I'm about to show you. No, that's got the same thing for picking up the bales. So the reason we're looking at the equipment here is the mower I have on this farm is a 3 metre wide mower, so it's not very good for doing. Oh, this one's much better. That's field 32. Let's go and see what field 32 looks like. Yeah, it's field 32. Oh. Just trying to find it. 31. Must be around this area somewhere, because I see field 31 there. 33. Oh, field 32, that one there. Oh, that's a decent sized field. Okay, let's pick up that contract as well. Just go back to contract screen. But this time we're going to buy the items. Okay, so anyway, the reason that I've chosen to buy items is because my own mower is only 3 metres wide. I've got very, very small equipment. You know, my windrower is also very small. So it's not very good for contract work necessarily. But this is, I'm just going to 10, 12 and 43. I'm just going to go and see if any of those are fields I want to do as well. 10, 12 and 43. You notice the ones are flashing that I've already picked up. 10, 12 and 43. 42. Well, there's field 43. What about 10 and 12? There's field 12. There's field 10. I've never done field 10 before. I might pick up that one as well. Let's go and pick up field 10 as well. So I don't know what the limit is to the number of contracts you can do at once. And I don't need equipment for that one, thank you. Okay, but I've never picked up more than about 4 at once because the amount of time you've got to do these things. So as you can see, I've now picked up 3 contracts all simultaneously, and I chose to buy the equipment for one but not for the others. Oh dear, I don't like this tractor already because I'm not very good with these tractors that use the that have an articulation in the middle. I didn't notice what the tractor was. I probably would have gone looking for another contract that gave me baling equipment I wanted, but a tractor that I also didn't mind. Have I got the right side of this mower? Maybe I haven't. I don't know. Maybe it's the other side of the mower I need. Anyway, we'll pick this up. So, yeah, I want to discuss with you because this farm here doesn't look like it gets picked up from this side, though. Oh, yes, it does. Okay. My farm on this map is so small I cannot make a living just at working on my own farm, and that's all. So there's 2 solutions to that. One would be to increase the size of my farm so I can have more cows and things, or more things to do in general. I don't really want to do that because I enjoy having the small farm on this particular map. It's the only map where I've got a very, very small farm, so I want to keep it that way. The second way of doing it, now I've got to find the gate into this paddock, is to do contract work. And so this is a map that I do a lot of contract work on, as well as working on my own farm. Why is it? There seems to be no gate into this paddock. Let's just drive through the hedge. I'll find out where the gate is and start using the gate moving forward, but until I can find where the gate is, it's a bit harder. Let's unfold said mowers. So yes, and contractors work is also a good way to do some what I would describe as legal cheating, and I'm going to go into that a wee bit. I'm just getting my mowers set up and I'll get back around this corner again. So in Farming Simulator there's quite a few cheats you can have. So for an example, you can download mowers and harvesters that are so wide that they could mow the whole world in one go, and things like that. To me, this is all my personal opinion of course, but in my opinion that's illegal cheating to do that sort of thing. But there's two kinds of legal cheating. The one I've just demonstrated to you is to go and hire equipment to fulfill a contract with, but pick up more than one contract simultaneously, and then go and use your hired equipment that you've already paid to hire to do all of those paddocks that you're contracting for. And so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to mow, I think from memory I picked up 3 contracts. I'm going to go and mow the lawns on all 3 using this tractor and these mowers, and I'll go back and windrow, doing all 3 with the same leased windrower, do the baling with all of them, etc, etc. So it is cheating because you're not just using the hired equipment for the paddock it was intended for, but to me this is perfectly legal cheating, because obviously if you've hired a tractor and some mowers and things like that, in real life there's not a stipulation as to what you can and can't do with that hired equipment. I suppose it's done that way in this game because they're assuming that the farmer who's getting you to do the contract work for them is supplying the equipment, and obviously if the farmer is supplying you with a tractor and mowers to go and mow their field for them, they don't want you then rushing off in their tractor to go and mow some other people's fields for them at the same time using their tractor and mowers. So it does kind of make sense the way the game's got set up, but I consider this to be a perfectly legitimate and reasonable cheat to use equipment that you're paying for already to do more than one contract with simultaneously. Now, once, I can't remember which of the 3 contracts this equipment was with, but once you have mown, baled and sold enough bales to meet the requirements of the contract, you can then carry on working whatever. It doesn't pay you out for the contract until you press the complete contract button. Now, as soon as I press that complete contract button, it takes all the vehicles back. So in this particular case where you're doing this and using borrowed equipment to do more than one contract job with, make sure you complete all the contracts before going complete contract, collect money. Okay, because otherwise you could suddenly find yourself losing all the equipment that you need to do the other contracts with because you chose not to hire it. Okay, this field here obviously isn't the one that had the equipment with it, because, oh no it wasn't, because this is the field I really wanted to mow, just I'd never done it before, and it was down by the water side, but didn't have good equipment choice in my opinion, so but would never ever have offered equipment this big for a paddock this small. So these mowers are ridiculously big for this small paddock. Now, some of the cheating with contracts I'm going to have to tell you about, because I'm not going to make this video long enough to complete all my contracts, which I'm going to have to do to have access to the other cheats. Now, I have not got the mod downloaded that makes silage bales instantaneous. There is a mod that you can download that as soon as you've wrapped a bale in plastic, it instantly turns to silage. I personally don't like to use that mod. Now, I know that Fury Machine Gaming loves that mod, and he does normally have that mod loaded. The reason I choose not to use it is that I like having to work out, you know, how quickly you need to get more of your fields mown to get bales made, because you have to do it before you're running low, because you've then got a few months after you've wrapped the bales before they actually become silage, and you need them to finish becoming silage before you run out. And if you get that timing wrong, and I have got it wrong in the past, then you end up having to buy bales to get you through until your own bales are ready to use. So that's why I like not having that mod, because I like having to try and time it right so I've got bales fully fermented by the time I need them. Okay? But when you're doing a contract like this, because they're always silage contracts, they always want silage bales delivered, the way the game is set up, oh, I missed terrible amounts there. Let's give those another bit of a try, shall we? There we go. Now, you will notice if I go into contract completion here, it's that one I'm mowing at the moment, I've reached 20% completion, okay? So, the way these mowing contracts work, mowing the grass and baling it up is 20%. So, it will never get above 20% complete for this mission. While I windrow, I won't gain more completion. When I bale it up, I won't gain more completion. So once all this is windrowed and all baled up, it will still be showing as 20% complete. The other 80% is taking the bales down to the bale point and selling them. And I forgot to actually check which one all these ones want the bales to be sold at. Hopefully all the same place. Yes, it is. So that's great. So yeah, if you actually watched that completion thing as you were baling, as you were mowing, you'd notice that it reaches 20% when the field's about 75% mown. So in reality, if you wanted to, you could just mow 75% of the field, then once it says yes, 20% complete, you could stop mowing, and then you could start baling up and things. Oops. Then, obviously in real life, a farmer, if they're hiring you to mow a field, they expect you to mow all the field. And I didn't actually see, did anyone, maybe I wasn't looking, I forgot to look, I did not see a way into this field still. Where's the gate into this field? Because I don't really want to be driving through the hedge the whole time. I'd rather find a gate, and it's got to come off one side or the other, surely. Not this side, okay. Let's go and look at the other side. So yes, you can stop mowing once you reach 20%, then just bale up what the portion, the 75-ish% of the field that you have already mown, and it would still accept it as mission complete once you sold all those bales. But if you carry on and you mow, there seems to be no gate into this field. Or am I going crazy? I cannot see any gate into this field at all. I've gone down all sides of it now, and it's just fences and hedges everywhere. So I am going absolutely mad here. Look, that's all fencing, none of that's a gate there. Down here it's hedge, all the way to the water with no gate. Unless, is there a gap in the hedge there? Oh, maybe that's a gap in the hedge there with no gate. Well, it doesn't really look like a proper gap to me. I don't think there's a gate into this field. As I said, I've never mown this field before, so I've never ever noticed that. In that case, I won't feel guilty about driving through the hedge into the field. Now, just got to check where my other fields are that I'm meant to be mowing. So I've just done field 78 there. So I've got field 32 and field 10. I really did go to opposite extremes of the map, didn't I, to get these missions. I should have looked for fields that were closer together, but never mind. Okay, so anyway, if you mow the full field like I just have, you're actually going to end up with more bales than what you need to complete the mission. So when I've baled all that field up and go and sell the bales, I'll probably sell about 80 to 85% of the bales, and then it will tell me that I've sold all the bales necessary and I've finished the mission. Yeah, I can press complete at any stage. Now, as I said, those bales for missions, even without that mod that turns your bales instantly into silage, for missions they do. So all the bales I make as part of that mission from that field are going to be instantly turned into silage the moment that I this tractor really is too big for this map. Yeah, never mind, I've got it now. Yes, as I say, all the bales that I wrap as part of the mission will instantly turn in silage the moment I've wrapped them, even though my own bales don't. Okay, so there's one cheat that I could do. So just trying to work out where I need to be going. Okay, yep, tuning up here. So I could do if I wanted to, if I was running low on bales. Now, at the moment I'm not running low on bales, but in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, the way I play it, that would be an unallowable cheat. That would be, so I'm not going to do that cheat, simply because in real life you don't have some silage bales that instantly turn silage and some that take time. They would all take time. So to me, to my own personal opinion, if you use, is it a, no, it's a fence there, but I'm up, where's my tractor now? Where am I? Oh, I'm way over there. I'm in completely the wrong place. Okay, that's okay, we shall get to the right place. So I'm not willing to take the extra silage bales after completing the mission and take them home so that I've got extra silage. I just think that's going a bit too far in the cheating states. But I do have two options still. So there's one option I could do in theory, is take those silage bales home and keep them for myself, and they're instant silage, they're not ones that have to be turned into silage over time. Okay, but another thing that I can do with those bales, which I don't consider to be unallowable cheating, I think it's perfectly within the rules. I'm looking for a road that comes off to the left up here, and I just cannot find one. I'm getting way out of where I want to be now. I thought there'd be a road off to the left. I must be miles out of the way now. Where am I? Yeah, look at that. I thought there'd be a road that cuts across somewhere there, but there isn't. This is nuts. This is nuts. I can't even turn this rig around because it's too big for the maps. There's no way I can turn it around. I just have to drive around the map until I can find how to get to that field 10. The other option I've got is, once you've delivered enough bales to the bale sale place to get 100% completion of the mission, it will carry on accepting those extra bales. But because it's not, where am I now? Okay, I might as well go and do field 32 first, then go back and look for field 10. Because as far as the game's concerned, you've delivered all the bales you needed to complete that mission, you've got 100% completion of that mission, it then starts treating the extra bales as ones of your own that you're selling. So you actually get extra money on top of the amount that the contract was worth for delivering additional bales. So that is what I do. I consider that to be an allowable cheat, whereas keeping the instantaneous silage bales I consider to be an unallowable cheat. Now, each person plays this game the way they want. So if you want to keep the instant silage bales for your own use, you do so. As I said, I never do. I always sell them for the extra money, and then if I actually need extra silage bales because I have timed everything wrong and not got silage bales ready when I needed them, then I purchase silage bales. And that's one of the ways that helps keep me broke, I suppose, is purchasing bales when I need them. Is this the field here I'm on now? Yes, it is. So I'm going to do a little cheat here and just go through this hedge, because I don't know where on earth the gate is to the field, and I've screwed up, haven't I? Because okay, it looks like I entered this field through there, so I'll do that from now on. I'll go through the proper way instead of driving through the hedge. I've driven through the hedge with that other field, so I just cannot find any gate into that other field, but I don't have to for this one. So yes, that's another way that doing missions. So I've shown you my favourite two cheats now for when you're doing mission work like this, when you're doing what's called contract work, sorry. One is to hire equipment to do one field, and then choose a few more fields at the same time that you select not to hire equipment for, and just use the hired equipment from the one field that you did hire it to do all those fields with. Okay. The other cheat is that you end up with more bales than you need to complete the mission, and as I said, the game will allow you to keep those bales and they are instantaneous silage. You don't need to wait for them to ferment. But to my own personal mind, I consider that to be a bit too much cheaty. So what I do instead is I sell all the extra bales that I get out of the fields, and that gives me extra money on top of what the mission had already, what the contract was already paying me. I get extra money for delivering more bales than was required. But of course each person can play the game however they want, and I know that I specified to both Fury Machine Gaming and AK when we sort of decided to do this Three Farmerteers challenge that there are no rules. You know, I might play by my own sort of set of rules that I like to play by. I'm sure they'll both have rules, whether spoken or unspoken rules, that they always play by. But there's no set rules that all of us must do this, or that none of us are allowed to do this. Now I did actually go back on that no rules slightly, and I've told both Fury and AK one rule, which I'm sure they'll disobey if they want to, and that is that in one of the garages you'll find my bright red Mazda MX-5. So I told them that the only rule is you can use my car if you want, you know, sell it, keep it, drive it, do whatever you want. I said the only rule is you're not allowed to drive in the snow because it will cause it to rust. Now obviously rust isn't a thing in this game, but yeah, so I have told them both that the only rule, which isn't really a rule and it's completely unenforceable by me, is do not drive my Mazda car in the snow, please, because I don't want you to make it rust. Well, this video is probably getting about to length now, and I know the last video I did earlier on today worked out at 53 minutes long, and I don't want to be doing that all the time. So I just wanted to discuss, I wanted to play another video for the Three Farmerteers, because I don't want to go too long without doing Farmerteer videos, since it's kind of like a challenge sort of thing. But at the same time I want to talk to you about the ways to cheat in when doing contracts. So I'll bid you all goodbye, and thank you very much for watching. Bye now.